Hi there, Secrets from the Saddle host, Sylvie, and I want to give you a little bit of a background of this particular podcast episode with Greg Christie. It was taken 2 years ago before the pandemic started, and we will definitely be going back to Greg to get an update, but I just wanted to let you know that this episode happened about 1.5 years ago. Thanks, and I hope you enjoy.
Hey guys, how you doing? Sorry we're a bit late. I know, well, fashionably late. That's because Greg was...
Me, sorry.
Yeah, it was all his fault. I was here ready. But, so, my name is Sylvie Dow, and from Dow Training Systems and Coach Sylvie. And what I started here was Secrets from the Saddle. It's all about cycling related things and people in the industry. So that's why my curiosity started. Just out of curiosity, I started this podcast, or this interview series is going to turn into a podcast. And so because I've been in the industry, my curiosity got to me, and because I've been in the industry, I know lots of people. So that's what brings me here to Greg Christie's Ski and Cycle Works in Chelsea, Quebec. So it's like right around the corner from me. And we're going to talk to Greg about his history here in Chelsea. Because I was just asking him, like, how long has this store been here? And he said 25 years. So for those who are looking to open up a bike shop, this might be somebody you might want to talk to about longevity in the industry.
Yes.
So, Greg,
25 years.
Sounds
like a long time.
Yeah, tell us about
Quarter
yourself
century
a little
sounds
bit.
longer.
I know, eh? Like, you still got another 25 years here.
Well,
Maybe not.
Further conversation.
Okay, so, Greg, I want you to tell us about how, like, a little bit about yourself, and then how you got into this, because usually when entrepreneurs kind of like, it just sort of happenstance that, let's start a little corner here, and then it blows up to be this
something like
bike
that.
shop. Yeah. So how did it start for you?
I got into bike racing.
Okay, go. Give us a little bit of a time frame here. I know. He looks...
we're talking 70s.
All right. Okay. I was
kind of
a wee babe.
Did the sort of the regular sports in high school, and I was really into basketball, and fortunately I was a small guy playing in a big position. It didn't work out.
What do you
at
mean? You're
university.
pretty tall.
Well, the position I was playing in, they were more in the 6'10" range, so I was a small boy. I was playing more forward or center. I'm like 6'1".
Oh, really?
I was a little taller in high school, but you know how they inflate the numbers when
right.
do
Well,
Anyway, and then I was just doing running and cycling for cross training, and just to do different things, and I really took to cycling, and I sort of dabbled into it. I never really got into it heavily at the time, because it was at another level that I never made, but I really enjoyed it. And then I was working part-time in the industry.
Did you live in this area?
No. Lived in Ottawa.
Oh, okay. Well.
And
Ottawa.
So it's sort of the area. Well, this is Chelsea now.
Yes, but we're not too far from Ottawa.
No, but we're not too far from Ottawa. Yeah.
Stone throw over the river.
And I worked part-time in the industry while I was going to school.
Okay.
And I really liked it. And I was just seeing all the same faces all the time. And
to a bike mechanic?
Did a
sales guy?
More sales,
okay.
But did a little bit of everything. And I enjoyed the mechanic side too. But I liked sales, and I just liked those people that came in. And and then there was sort of a crossroads. I came to a crossroads in my life where I liked what I was doing, but I didn't necessarily like the scenario I was in. And I thought, well, I'll go back to school. I have a background in phys ed, and I thought I'll go back in physiotherapy. And I thought, woo, I got to do a lot of courses.
How can I hit the job force really quickly without going to school?
Steep curve there. And
really the
I was at a crossroads in my life too. I was married, and
so did you work straight out of high school got married and then decided you were going to go back to school?
High school, I went to university, and I tried to make the basketball team, and that didn't work out. And then sort of the stuff I was doing on the off season, I kind of enjoyed the running side and the cycling and dabbling in those things. And then through university, I was working part-time. And through university, I met my wife. And then I decided to work full-time in the industry. Am I allowed to say names? Or
Sure.
I worked at Pecos for many years.
Oh, well, because they were the store back then.
They were the store.
They were the store.
They were the store. And so I managed the Ottawa location. And I really liked the people that were coming in, but it was just at a crossroads where I think I just needed to branch out on my own. And that was the big move for me. And that's when I looked up here in Chelsea and saw a little spot that I thought would be great. Mm-hmm. But my wife saw this spot. And she had a little better vision than me. Where was the other spot that you were looking I was
at?
looking right in the thick of things on the other side of the village. And there would be a little cubby hole in behind which is now Les Saisons.
Oh,
and that would have been sort of flat repair and little tune-up thing.
Hole back there.
It was a cubby hole, yeah. And my wife saw this location. And
it's like, hey, baby, that's what wives are for.
Yes, actually.
To bring light to things.
Yes, she has clear vision of things. Let's put it that way, yeah.
Oh,
so,
no.
Yes. So this is our day off. It is a Tuesday, and there is a knock on the door, but we'll just pretend we didn't hear it.
Forget. We're not like...
But we are service driven in this industry, but we'll see what happens.
But this is an interview, so they're just going to have to wait.
There you go.
Unless they knock consistently.
Yes. What do I do?
I don't know.
That's a delivery.
You think so?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
He knocks louder.
Well, let's go. Do you think
Let's
you'll leave
it
on the doorstep?
No.
Probably not, eh?
No.
Okay, well, let's
probably
go
a Stage's power
take
meter.
a little tour.
We'll take a tour?
I'm going to follow Greg.
I'm on my way. I'm
All
ready.
right, let's go.
I'm running.
We'll just take a tour of his shop. So right now, Greg's shop is full on skiing, as you can tell, because he's a ski and cycle shop. So that's why you see tons of ski stuff here. And of course, he's at the door taking a delivery, which is pretty important. Is it an important delivery? Is it important?
It's not a bike, but it's a ski. And she needs it by the weekend, so this is pretty important.
Oh, yeah, but
There
what
we
if
go.
you weren't here today?
Oh, he'd be knocking tomorrow.
Oh, wow. Okay, so we'd have to come back.
We still got time.
Oh, yeah. So like I was saying, ski and cycle works, so that's why I was just saying that's why we're not looking at bikes right now.
Unfortunately, we are in Chelsea. It's
Yeah.
like a world away from Ottawa.
I
There's
might have
lots
to
of snow
come
up
back
here.
when he's full into the cycling. But okay, so let's pick up where you're you branched from Pecos.
Yes.
And your wife found the spot.
Absolutely. She had the vision. She could see it
And
was
then you
sort
bought
of
it.
Yeah, it was right beside the highway. It was on the right side of the road.
Yeah.
There was just a whole lot of cedar trees in the front, and I couldn't see it. I couldn't see behind the cedar bushes.
Oh, really? That
But
was like all...
But she could, and she saw. No, there is potential here. This is where you should be. And that's 25 years ago. This November 11th.
Wow. You must have got a good deal back then.
Actually, it was a fellow I knew who, yes, we had a good deal. It was very good.
Well, it's always good to own your own spot. That's
Absolutely.
for sure over renting, because then you have full control.
Yeah.
To some extent, I guess.
There is Mother Nature.
There's Mother Nature.
And there was the ice storm.
And the ice
But
storm.
we survived it.
Well, that's it. You just closed down for a month,
A month.
or two.
Yeah.
That's not so bad.
Yeah.
Nobody else is out skiing anyways. So
I
like,
didn't.
you might
I
as well,
didn't.
like-
I didn't sleep well for a month or two, but that's all part of owning your own business. But there you
Yeah,
go.
that's why we have savings.
There you go.
So, moving forward, so was it always? Did you open the whole thing at once, or did you start small? Like, how did it?
Well,
how did you kind of move into the business?
Hard to believe it could have been smaller than it is now, because the actual
I know.
the actual floor space in here is about 800 square feet. The actual
Seriously?
sales place.
Oh,
yes.
so, okay.
And this was a residential house, and
Yeah.
it was actually more little rooms than there actually are now. So we kind of took down any wall that we felt wasn't load bearing to open the store up. And when I first opened, I had a very small severance from when I worked at Pecos, a very small amount of savings. And it doesn't get you very far in this industry because
Yeah.
everything costs so much. But I had a fellow that I shared the house with. So when you came in the front door, there was a small little apartment to the right.
Oh, really?
And
A very small.
and then to the left we had a TV up with some videos, VHS back then, and we had a little couch,
VHS.
and the customers could kind of hang out, sit
Watch
on the
TV.
couch, come in and sell them some skis. We had a small little wood burning stove,
Oh,
which is hard to have nowadays.
I have one.
Times have changed, but yeah, it was very very small and. A neat little ambiance, and I think
Well,
my
at
first
that time, Chelsea was pretty small.
yeah,
Yeah,
big
like,
changes here, big changes.
if
here
you
now.
look
it was
out
a real
our-
village back then. Yeah,
Yeah, if you look out the front window, industry, or I should say development, has really taken over this area.
absolutely.
Yeah. So back then it was
for good or for bad. I mean, in
yeah,
my
well,
case,
we're gonna
it's
talk
it's
about
good,
that.
but for sure, Chelsea is really the. I think for a lot of people, it's a bit the promised land. It's close to town, but you have a
Mm-hmm.
village close to the Gatineau Park. The Gatineau Park is just a huge draw for
Yeah.
people in the village and people in Ottawa. It's a huge draw.
And you got the Nordic Spa in your backyard,
There is the Nordic Spa. That's right.
which I'm sure is like encroaching on like, can I take over your spot for? I don't know if they bring parking down here, but they're right up on your back.
Yeah,
wall.
right behind me. But in all fairness, his name is Martin Paquette. Very forward-thinking, very pro sports and cycling. There's
Yeah.
a big
Oh,
thing in the
that's good.
village to link the village up with bicycle paths. You can go anywhere in the village on a bike path. And we've sat down together and we're both willing to give up a little chunk of our property so we can get a bike path to go in behind here.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Up behind them, behind the church, and come out on Padden Road right by the
Yeah.
and yeah, the main road here is so busy all the time, so you can avoid that completely. And it's all in that idea of really linking the village.
Yeah.
With a bike
I
path.
like that idea. That's like sort of like taking a whole tour of
Tour of the
area.
village, nice and quiet. We even have a fellow who grooms the train tracks. And
Yes.
the train tracks are no more train tracks, so it's
No.
now a pathway.
That
And they're
goes near
grooming
my
that,
place.
and we're thinking hard of getting that groomed in the wintertime so you
It
can
is
actually
groomed.
ski. But that little path that we want to make would be
Oh,
groomed.
that better be.
So-
That's got to be wide.
Well,
No,
I think we can make it work. I think we can make it work.
Yes, I
There's a
know
will,
because
there's a
like yeah, because I know the train tracks goes past my place. Actually, that's where they stop.
Yeah,
And they turn around in the quarry.
that's right.
But so community, Greg, you're a huge contributor to community, and I've been so grateful as to be benefiting from that, from my road or my time trial race from my club. But who else do you contribute? Because you have a team that's out of here. Is there anybody else that you contribute to, like on a regular yearly basis?
Well, Glenn, which is really my right hand guy, and really is the cycling side. He has a team ride with Rendell that he started back.
Yeah, that's the team that's out of here.
It was kind of like a fundraiser for the Athens Olympics for Glenn.
Oh my God, what year was that?
Oh my God, the Athens Olympics! I don't know. It's a long time ago.
Sounds like a long time ago.
Anyway, started then, and he's kept the team going, and a pretty good team. You know, they kind of really punch way above their weight. They're small. They're out there with the trade teams, and they do well. They do the BOS, and so I've helped them out with Cervelo.
Right.
So the team rides Cervelo, and then also within the village here too, there's all sorts of little fundraiser things going on. It's either raising money for the trail system,
Right.
to expand the trail system. We have a women's shelter here that I've always been involved with for many, many years.
Really?
It's
Okay.
Maison Libérale,
Yeah.
and that's been going for quite a while. And there's another fellow who I've known for years, connected with Ride with Rendell, Rob Orange, and he's
Rob.
very, very big on this. So it was
I
always
should-
his
I
baby
should
from the
probably,
beginning.
Like, interview him too, because he's
Yeah.
a big
Big part of Chelsea
big
and
part of
big part of
Chelsea
this, yeah.
and cycling
Absolutely.
in this area. Too.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, Glenn, so he works here,
Mm-hmm.
and is he the coach for his team too, or?
Yeah, he
Is
lays.
or is he like the manager now?
Well, he wears a lot of hats. He works on training programs for the athletes. Some of them actually will take off training in California, so they look for a house or building. Done that in the past, and also he is director sportif, so he's going to the events and helping the guys out there. And
that's why you are a coach manager, so you can go travel with the
get to drive the car fast.
That's right, and you don't have to ride.
No, and you don't have to ride. You can just say harder.
That's right. Go harder. Yeah. That's why that's why I became a coach. You know, so even though I'm getting back into racing, but coaching on the sidelines is way easier than racing.
Oh,
which you agree.
Glenn's good. He's been at that level, so I think he feels their pain. So he knows what that's all about.
Exactly knows. Yeah. Team support. So I guess that's part you've been contributing and supporting Glenn and his team for a number of years. Now let's talk about you're big into cyclocross. What would you say is this is not even on my sheet here, but let's go into the like kind of where you see the industry's going right now as a cycling shop, because if you want to survive, you've got to be on with what's going on in like the world, like in our region, right? And so where do you see like say the next 5 years, like what do you see is like really taking off, and what's kind of dying down? And
maybe it's a little bit me too, but you know, I always have familiar faces walking through the door, and they're always into sport, and they're kind of into the next big best thing. Yeah. So it's kind of what is the industry kind of dictating and what is really actually happening. And I think there's an alignment. I think the idea of gravel biking is becoming a big thing. And, you know, being in Chelsea, you know, there is riding the Gatineau Park, and there's kind of riding that way. But, you know, there's great riding the other way north. Yeah. And we're not far from that. So for us here, there's a lot of people, and I've seen it in the last few years, putting a little bigger tire on the road bike, a little bigger tire on the road bike, and really looking for those roads where there's less traffic and those. And so, to me, it's just a very natural progression. So now gravel bikes, you know, and the idea of multi-use bikes are super lightweight. They're playing around with the gearing now. That bike is going to be the do-all bike. So I see the future in that. But I think my customers, the way I look at it is, once a cyclist, always a cyclist. And so it's kind of like, okay, so what is my next bike going to be? It's that N+1. And I think that formula still works.
I think that's me this year.
And new people into cycling, it's there, but it's kind of a fragmented thing now because there's just so many things you can do. I mean, as kids, you were either into sports or maybe there was less options. I think nowadays there's just more options. So I see new faces coming to it, but mostly for me, I see those familiar faces just getting like, another bike and doing something.
What is it going to be this year?
Exactly. What's it going to be this year?
Yeah,
exactly.
I want to upgrade.
I'm kind of counting on that.
Yeah, that's right. So, here it goes. Okay.
There we go. N+1.
Yeah, that's right.
Go.
I think you should try this bike.
Yeah, but gravel biking, I mean, I just remember road racing and crit riding. It's like you're on that wheel, you're suffering, or you've got to close down that brake, and there's tension there all the time. I think gravel brings a whole new dimension. It's a little bit like cyclocross in the sense that you get out there, you go hard, and then you're just in your zone, just working the course, figuring things out, and there's less intimidation, and you can see it in the other riders too. It's just more camaraderie, and so I think.
Do you see some mountain bikers coming down from mountain biking into like gravel?
Absolutely. I mean, yeah.
A little safer.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if people think about the safety factor in that respect.
Well, as we get older, and as the same faces walk in that door as they get older, yeah, we don't bounce like we used to. That's why I think gravel biking is there too, because you're right. It's not quite the technical of mountain biking, but there's still the exhilaration. There's the camaraderie like road riding. It's just a whole new venue, new roads to go on. A lot of discovery, a lot of exploring. So yeah, I bought a lot of gravel bikes this year, and
Did you,
I hope
eh?
it takes off.
I know
think it
that
will.
I'm looking for a new bike, and I've reached out to one of my friends, Mike, and I was like, okay, because I'm like, okay, I'm looking for a competitive bike. So it's like, here, I got 5 things on my list. Can you like fit them all into one bike? So a competitive bike that I can race crits and potentially engage in the gravel riding with. So he was able to find something that he's created as a frame, and we'll see. But the thing is that, our club isn't going gravel, but I do see the draw.
Absolutely.
But the only thing about it is that you have to travel for the most part to get to those. Like, it's not like a city start anymore. It's like an out of the country.
Yeah,
Out of
remote
simulate,
start.
remote starts, and even for road racing, road cycling, group riding, we are starting to move, in the outskirts where country roads and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
So it's just.
But Ottawa's not Toronto, so we're
I know we're not
in
that
respect.
far.
And it's funny. The other day I had a medical appointment, and it was down in an area I used to ride my bike years ago, down on Linebank Road.
Oh, has it not changed? Oh my
I
gosh.
got lost. I
That's
didn't
like a whole city itself down there.
Yeah, so Ottawa too, yeah, it's getting big. But we're kind of cocooned up here in Chelsea, and like I say, with gravel riding, we're just coming out the store and going north. So the remote riding, yes, if you want to get to where the real gravel is, sure, you could probably save some time and hop in your car, but you could just ride from Chelsea. You don't have to do that.
Yeah, I know.
So in a way, we're cocooned. We escaped that from Ottawa because I realize now Ottawa's really grown too. You're right. It's not. I mean, your ride is basically getting out of Ottawa and turning around and coming back, and your ride's done. But
yeah, I know, because there's
that
no
is
starting
reality.
from the core and going to hunt club, and then you're into country roads. Like you've got another 20 kilometers, and you're still in suburbia.
Yeah.
So there's
It's changed.
It's
So I found
changed
out.
a
So I
lot.
found out the other day. It's really changed.
like, oh my
Linebank
God.
Road, I didn't recognize it anymore.
Yeah, I
That's
know.
a
I
reality.
remember that one too, going up to Merrickville or Manotick.
Exactly.
And
Different
it's just
world
like,
now.
but
It's kind of like what Chelsea is here. It's a bit of a bedroom community to Ottawa, and Chelsea is kind of a bedroom community to Ottawa and Hull too.
yeah, but they've got the big box stores. I mean, they've got like shopping malls there.
Never in Chelsea.
No, not in Chelsea. Back in there.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
no, Chelsea.
Absolutely.
Like there's only so much land you can work on.
Now,
And I think
pubs we have,
pubs,
but
we
not
need more
box stores.
pubs.
Yeah, pubs
We
we
need
got,
more
no problem there.
restaurants.
And coffee shops. We're good.
Oh
We're
yeah,
good with
yeah,
coffee
I know.
shops.
So let's move on to now it's been 25 years,
Yeah.
and I know I've asked you about this.
Yes.
So what's the retirement look like? Because it's
The
it's
perfect
almost
retirement?
Like,
The perfect
well, okay,
retirement?
the ideal retirement.
Ideal
and when is it
retirement.
really going to happen?
I so
You
obviously
can put it out there to the
for
universe.
years and years and years, I've invested a lot of my time, and sometimes more time than I want to, but I can't imagine just leaving this cold turkey, because a good part of it I like. So what I would love to see is, be it Greg Christie's Ski and Cycle Works, or even not Greg Christie's Ski and Cycle Works, but see this as a bike in a ski shop, and
But keep it, but sell it, or have somebody take it over, or like what do you foresee? Because
I'm flexible, but what I'd like to do is not, sometimes when things are really cooking here, I don't want to count the hours, but I could easily hit 60 hours a week. I'd like to maybe stop that, do a little more traveling. My wife really wants to travel.
Is she retired?
And she's got 2 more years.
Oh,
So the clock is ticking.
You
Clock
got
is
2
ticking.
years to figure it out.
And I would gladly work part-time for somebody, because I think I want to keep my fingers in this, because
you
it's
can't.
I'd wear the little smock and be the store greeter, and it would go well. I like that.
Well, I mean, like when I left, it's like, how can you leave all your clients? Like everybody, because you live in Chelsea.
Yeah.
Everybody knows you.
Yeah.
The industry knows you and
Yeah.
of you, and I can't imagine like you like
and you
just
know,
leaving or anybody just leaving.
I like what I do.
Yeah.
So why would you want to completely stop what you like doing? So
I know.
So
I
finding a
feel the
happy
same
road,
way.
a happy meet. Yeah, exactly. And I know that
To make it more.
I'm
on your
maybe not
terms.
always my best at 60 hours a week, but I'm way nicer at 25 hours a week.
That's right.
So I would.
So if you want to see Greg, you have to come Tuesday and Thursdays, and that's it.
Yeah.
And maybe he'll take you for a group ride.
There you go. That would
Oh,
that would
you know
fit
what?
in nicely. Fit in
Yeah, well,
nicely.
see, the thing is that since you have control,
Absolutely.
you have to
Absolutely.
make the changes. That's right.
Absolutely.
You have to look at this and go,
Absolutely.
listen, we need to hire an extra person or an extra manager, even though sometimes it's like it costs a little bit more, but it's like
Yeah.
it's your livelihood, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's always for me. The thing is the bean counting, because sometimes you do the bean counting, and you go, well, that extra guy costs this much, and it's this, but that's all part of it. I'd like to leave all that behind. I think there's other people that's their strength, and that can be a behind the scenes thing.
Oh yeah.
And definitely, Chelsea is growing, and the people. The Gatineau Park is on everybody's radar. I remember in the old days, I'd go for a ride in the park. I would see one cyclist, and there's days where I just get lost counting. So the Gatineau Park is on everyone's radar, and everyone even new to cycling knows the Gatineau Park. It's a landmark. So obviously here, if someone wants to take it on, what it really is do it in a nice way, keeping that shop feel. But I have to be bigger, and I realize that. But that's not. I'm the small shop kind of guy.
Yeah.
So that's phase 2 for somebody else, and I'd like to be a part of it. I'd like to be the front of that, but for sure I'd like this to stay a ski shop because it's so much part of the village, and I wouldn't want to see that gone.
Well then, and not to mention that things are growing too, because we don't have any place for people to stay in this village. So like North Spa is going to be expanding those like hotel type rooms, so you're going to start
There is
getting
some great B&Bs in the village.
yeah, so you can get the
and there's a
hotel
lot
experience.
I mean, I live here, so I don't really I don't have my attention on it, but what I realize now in the village, a lot of Airbnb, more and more B&Bs, because it is on people's radar, and especially tourists coming to Ottawa.
Yeah.
I mean, what we're noticing, they'd rather stay in Chelsea and go visit Ottawa as opposed to stay in Ottawa. So it's
I would
growing.
do it that way too.
So it's growing. I mean, you get the best of both worlds. You've got all the great coffee shops up here. You've got that sort of village.
Yeah,
and
you
of
got
course,
the
of course, the
pub,
Gatineau,
you got, like-
and another pub, and another pub, and you got the Gatineau Park, and you're 10 minutes from Ottawa. So there you go.
Oh gosh, I
If you want to
know,
go
eh?
play in the traffic and go to a museum, it's there.
Yeah,
And
very
then
close.
You've got the village here.
Yeah, because I
Maybe
know
maybe my next job should be on council in Chelsea.
Oh
No.
Now that would be a good one.
Yeah.
That would keep you busy.
I'm not sure how that would fit.
But that pays.
Oh, jeez.
I don't know how much.
Never even
but
thought of that, but my contribution
there's
to
like,
Chelsea.
don't worry, I don't need to be paid. I just wanna, like, just hear me out. Let me do what I want. But I know, because like things are picking up, and one of the things that we said in this area is that there's no place for people really to stay. You know, because they would have to stay in Hull or Gatineau, then travel here, go to the Nordic Spa, go back, and you know, like, or rent your bike. Oh, and that's another thing you told me that, and this is for couples who come here looking to road. And you said this was a huge thing that you started in your shop.
Absolutely.
Was the husband wife e-bike thing.
yeah.
I found this so
Yeah.
kind of
It's funny because I've been to Europe, and it's all about e-bikes there. And I find here there's a little bit of pushback, but really, if you want a mountain bike here in the village, people don't realize it, but the first K or so coming out of the village, no one would consider the Gatineau Park mountainous, but it's definitely hilly. So if you're leaving the village, and I get this with a lot of tourists or anybody new to Chelsea, they really discover it's quite difficult if you want to stay on the trail and ride out through the village. So we've taken on e-bikes the last couple of years, and I would say anybody,
Did you have a lot of
tourist-
rentals?
tourists coming from Europe, oh, it's an e-bike, I'm all for it. turn the motor on, let's go. Here locally, I get a little pushback, and it's e-bike's great, but I'm not ready for that. But you are. No, I'm not ready for that. So I just go, okay. So have fun.
Yeah, that's right. You can come back and upgrade.
If you want to go up 3 hills, turn around and hit the pub, you don't need an e-bike. If you want to actually go up in the park and really discover the Gatineau Park,
and get your picture at the top of Champlain Lookout.
Yeah, you got to roll into Camp Fortune. Got to hit the dumpster, catch a couple bears.
Yeah.
Dream of tourist, you got to have a bear, and got to have an e-bike for that. But it's coming. I see it coming.
The funny thing is, when I went to the bike show last year, everybody had e-bikes. I was
Absolutely.
like, where are the bikes? Because I'm not riding an e-bike yet. I was just like quite fun because everybody had some.
Well,
had some.
I guess you could look at it too, like, I always have an ear to the ground and listen to the industry, and sometimes they're right and sometimes they're wrong. And I think the e-bike is coming. It's just a bit of a marketing thing. It's not a motor to take over for fitness. It's there to augment and to give you more to what you want to do on a bike. So instead of a 5K ride, and then
you got a 20K ride.
You got a 20K ride.
And you pedaled for 5.
And same workout.
But I think
just more to see, and sometimes too it can be a differential too. Like I see the future in gravel, and a gravel e-bike.
What about fat biking?
Yeah,
I saw an e-fat bike.
Absolutely. Fat biking has got to be some of the toughest workouts ever.
Really, I've not tried it yet.
That wheel just keeps turning and turning and turning. You keep pedaling and pedaling and pedaling, and you're not going anywhere.
Slow.
It's here though, and
I know
our problem here is just a little bit about location. We're kind of not in the thick of it. It's happening in the south end of the park, the north end of the park, and Chelsea's kind of caught in the middle. It's a little bit to the NCC coming on board and linking the park with allowing fat bikes so they can link up to where they want to go, because we're kind of in a bit of a no man's land here, and I don't want anyone to hop on a fat bike and ride next to cars on a slippery road for 5 kilometers to get to where the ride is.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of that. So we got to get the NCC on board, and there's new blood there, and there's new thinking. It's just takes time.
Well, I do see there's a fair amount of fat bike symbols.
Absolutely.
Where so they share it with snowshoers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Not the same venue. I've been elsewhere in Quebec, and I've been on real fat bike trails while I was cross country skiing. And I thought, wow, why am I skiing when I could be on this fat bike trail? They were awesome. Technical, but everything is banked. And it's all about something you'd never see for
That's
snowshoeing.
That's a cross-country ski trail, too?
No, I was on cross-country skiing, but I crossed a fat bike trail. And it was in one of these areas where they had fat biking and cross-country skiing. So where were we?
Oh,
fat bike
fat
trails.
biking.
Well, I've been elsewhere in Quebec, and I've seen how you do it right. So I know.
Where's that? Like Quebec City?
Oh, anywhere, Quebec City, all in that area. There's a lot of clubs now where they see fat biking's come on, so they create a whole new venue for them.
Yeah.
So really specific in that, kind of technical, but the bike never gets out of control, but everything is banked, and it's fun. It's not a snowshoe trail. It's very, very different. So I think the future would be, and especially the Gatineau Park, it's so big, you will have, and certainly if they bring people who fat bike involved, it will really have true fat bike trails.
Yeah. And
we've got lots of room in the park to do it, because really you can see these trails are specifically designed for fat biking. They're even groomed. So so really, and you can see so it's like you build it, they will come.
Yes.
But you got to build it.
Well, I know so many my cycling friends who have purchased a fat bike. And I'm just like, I'm not there. I'm not there. I'm downhill skiing.
There you go.
I'm downhill. I'm outside downhill skiing.
But it's a lot of, I think if you create the right venue, it is a lot of fun.
I know.
I just think snowshoeing, when you're going down a hill and you're kind of trudging along, and I'm thinking, this would be nice on a fat bike.
going just as fast.
Or,
But
yeah, there you go.
my husband and I are renting some this winter to go out for a day or two.
Absolutely.
We're gonna fat bike into a camp and
Yeah.
stay overnight and fat bike out.
Absolutely.
And that's gonna be our experience with fat biking, and I'll let
Yeah.
you know how that goes. But
Yeah.
hey, so we didn't really get your full what are we gonna do for retirement, but
I left it a little cryptic.
you did. That's okay
There's
because
just so many wrinkles.
you just
so
got
who knows?
2 years.
2 years.
You got 2 years. But hey, before we finish, let's go for a little tour of the shop. It's small, but right into the. Let's just do a little tour.
If we go,
And then we'll,
if we go slow and it's
We'll
a
go
wide,
slow. Yeah,
and
that's
it's a
right.
wide angle lens,
Yeah.
it'll look really big.
That's right.
Okay, so
All right. So where you want to start, like
Play by
with the
play?
shop?
so there's a shipment. Let's put it into.
All right.
Let's
Yes.
put it into shipping.
And you
then
can
receiving.
see
There we
that
go.
this is the brand that they deal with.
Absolutely. Let's get. It's from Norway. It's called Madsus. It's kind of a boutique line, but
This is my first cross country ski.
oldest cross country skiing company out there. Founded in 1906, and they still make skis, and they make them in Norway.
Oh, that's
How
nice.
unusual is that?
Thank God
So
it's not
our
China.
wall of Matsu skis. And where do we want to go to next?
Oh, let's just go right into the shop.
Okay,
So
the back
there's
room.
the only bike right there.
Absolutely. But
And it's like a serious training area for somebody, because check this out.
absolutely.
Look at the screen. Like, seriously.
Well, of course, now
Who's training on that?
So we have this bike just to show it's set up, but
That they actually do bikes here.
we actually do bikes. So this area here will actually do fitting for the customer. Glenn's here helping with the fit, and of course, customer can get some riding time in just to see how the fit is. So we're all interconnected, and
Good
of course the trainer is connected to. Well, I don't know if I should give out any names, but certainly Swift or any other media like that you can use, and it's all connected to trainer. Of course, we sell trainers. The cycling season never really stops here, even though it's all skis.
I know.
We still
I'm
do a lot of
training
bikes.
inside.
And so yes, the trainers are here, the bikes here, we do our fittings here.
And that's a little bike repair area over there.
Not sure there's gonna be you can
All I
see
see
past
is
first.
all I see is skis.
The skis are in here.
But
there's
you know what?
trainer.
I have to say that Greg has helped me out in a pinch a
Yes.
number of times, because like when you're in Chelsea, it's just like everyone's like, oh my God, I gotta go see Greg, and can you take? I brought some
Wow.
interesting stuff to him to fix.
But we're sort of en route for people who ride. And if they have a breakdown, it's not one of those, can you leave it with me and walk home and come back next week?
Yeah.
So we try hard to get it done right away. I
Yeah,
mean,
I know.
that's part of being on location, right? So
It's like, do you have parts for like this? And
yeah.
it's like just.
And
a
we
second.
do. There's
Usually?
always something in a drawer somewhere. We
Yeah.
got lots of drawers here.
That's good. That's good.
So where next?
So the shop is kind of in the ski mode back there.
We can kind of peek behind the curtain. I don't know how it's that, but
Oh,
yes.
it is all ski stuff.
All skis.
Okay, hold on. I'll let you guys see. And
But
that's where they do. Hey, do you do sharpening for downhill skis?
No.
Oh, okay.
But we have some people with steel edge skis, and we can do some hand finishing on it, but it's not our
That's your
forte.
thing. Okay.
Here we actually do rentals.
Oh,
And
okay, good.
Those rentals go in and out twice on a Saturday and twice on a Sunday.
Seriously?
The rentals are very big here, yeah.
Wow. Well, that's good because
rental boots and skate boots and poles are there.
So, what skis do you rent with them?
Let me show you.
All right,
You'll
let's
see
go
just
see.
how small the operation is here.
Okay, we'll go really slow.
The wall of gloves.
The wall of gloves.
And on the floor,
Oh, these are the ski rentals.
all of these go out every morning. All of these go out every morning and come in every night. And yeah, very, very, very popular on the weekends. And then, of course, we have our walls.
Clothing
of fashion.
line, yes. That's kind of looking, so like, I like this color.
A little more cubby hole in the back.
Oh,
here.
there's the new boots.
Of course, we need a little area here for fitting, because really the boot fit is very important. This is where we spend most of our time with customers, is getting a proper boot fit.
Nice.
And that time of year that sales are starting.
Yep. Get as much out the door before.
And there's the whole retail.
Oh.
We have our
There's
little office where we do the bean counting.
The bean count. This is where all the magic happens.
And it's very high tech, so we don't actually count beans anymore.
We're now on to...
And does anyone want to see the kitchen?
Oh, there's a kitchen?
We have a kitchen.
Ooh, okay, let's go see the kitchen.
Lights on in the kitchen.
This should be interesting. Where's the kitchen?
So the last of our kitchen's right over here.
Stop
we have
it.
our microwave. And
Okay, this is a bike shop kitchen.
And we have our coffee maker.
And that's really all you need.
That's what's left of the... There used to be a kitchen in here a long time ago, but that's what's left of our kitchen.
This was the kitchen.
There you go.
So I was waiting for a stove and stuff. But, like...
And that is the whole...
I love the
tour.
red, as you can tell.
Not
Red,
bad, eh?
orange.
There you go.
I like that hat.
There you
It's
go.
like, all I need is another jacket.
That's our motto. All you
need is another jacket. Yes, you do need another jacket. Well, all right, where are we going to finish off here?
So, the tour.
That was the tour.
Yeah.
And I have to thank Greg for letting me come in here. He was super receptive
My pleasure.
for doing this. And so maybe we have to get Glenn in here.
Yes.
Is he
yes.
Around these days?
I don't know.
California?
Is he in the legend status now?
He is.
He is. There you go.
No, because he was a pro cyclist.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And he works here and he has a team.
Absolutely.
And so that's like one of those questions, like, how do you make things run and all that stuff around the team, getting the team there. And,
absolutely.
because I used to manage our master's team. I wasn't as big as that, but it's the same.
Multifaceted. That's right. You got to wear a lot of hats and you got to do a lot of work.
It's like being a mother to adults.
That I'm not sure of.
I like making sure. Did you eat? Do you have your stuff? Where is your stuff? I just want to thank Greg here because
my pleasure. Absolutely my pleasure.
He's a massive supporter of the cycling community, and I come here every spring asking for swag for our race, and he always provides really great stuff. So just make sure I'm on the list there for a time trial.
There's always one of those.
And you better be participating this year.
There's always one of those drawers somewhere.
That's right. I'm like,
There's
whatever
stuff.
you want to get rid of, just give it to me. I'll do it as a gift. So, but anyways, thanks everybody for catching this. Please subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be interviewing somebody every week. And there's just so many amazing cycling athletes and people from the industry in this area and in Quebec. And I'm going to make sure I get all of them, and then I'm going to move internationally. So if you know somebody who you think I should interview, please send me a message in the comments below or personally, and I will reach out to them. So thanks a lot. Don't forget to subscribe and comment below if you have any questions for Greg. You can always find him here, and I'll put all the links below. If you want to come in and rent skis or buy a bike.
But not on Tuesdays.
But not on Tuesdays. It's dedicated to like
I'm skiing.
Ski day. So he's going to go back out and ski probably. So thanks a lot, guys. Have an amazing day. Bye.
Thank you so much for joining us for this episode of Secrets from the Saddle with our amazing guest, Greg Christie from his local bike and ski shop here in Chelsea. Please don't forget to go and subscribe to both the podcast and the YouTube channel and put on those notifications. Now, a little addition, it would be awesome if you could give us a 5-star review if you really enjoyed this episode on both YouTube and the podcast. And a quick review would be amazing. Now, if you have anybody that you know of that would be exceptional on this podcast, please drop a note there and I will reach out to them. Don't forget to go visit my website, cyclingskillspro.com, for all my latest cycling skills courses, webinars, and free downloads. My mission is to help as many people really enjoy their bikes by learning the proper skills of form, technique. Thank you so much. And you have yourself an amazing day. And don't forget, you're one pedal stroke away from cycling like a pro.